Yep, this is live.
Alright, so there's 4 sets of armor on the CT side, and Lamb's just going to be picking up smoke and 2 flashes. And the T side make their way towards B, but they're going a bit faster, so a lot of dropper control should be taken early on.
Yeah,
Flash
it
comes
looks like
over.
they're just straight up seeing this B hit, and it's not going to be starting off well. Not a great setup for the CTs at all. There's also split up, not really any potential trade flags, trade frags rather. There's Dimitri also fallen, and the 2 aggressive CTs over towards A. Big long rotate for them to come in. They're the last 2 standing. Nice headshot from Complex, but they have 4 more to find. And the kit, it was dropped. I'm not quite sure where.
Yeah, it all just fell apart for the CT side early on here. As they just kind of got backstabbed by that flank from dropper, and it didn't really work out for them. As Gravity will close it out now against Minty, and the T side started off pretty strong, taking the pistol round.
It was just a strange setup altogether. The 2 players in mid, weird positions to be on pistol, and I guess it could have worked, but either way they went over towards B, and having one player just so aggressive on his own towards long, having the other 2 players like playing so passive, literally just hiding back towards rock, it's just never really going to work out because they have no way to help their teammate.
Yeah, I mean, you do see some teams like to use flashbangs from there, but they didn't really utilize any nades, so it was a really strange setup from them. But Complex is getting aggressive here towards A long. He's going to get caught out by Ivanov though, and he'll be dropped. And that's a 5v4 situation. Jay on a bit of a peculiar position on top of dropper here. Going to be getting closer to this CZ, trying to find something on Gravity, and he will do so as he takes him down. He's getting dropped by Poxy though, and now it's a 4v3 situation.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't really count FoX out as quite. Looking at the weapons on the T side, they're not so great, but Dimitri falling there during that attempted boost probably gonna be the final nail in the coffin. Now it's only Minty and Curty that remain, and we are seeing, it looks like we're about to see an A hit coming in, and no one here to try and defend this at all. They're actually going for the split. Foxy's gonna go down, drop on his own, and he's gonna get taken down along with Lamzer, so that's not gonna be a good start to this round there. And now we're back down to a 2 versus 2. We see Ivanov clearing all the angles, should be able to get the bomb down any moment now. And the HP on the CT side is still pretty strong. The only problem is no utility, nor do they have a kit.
Yeah, and CTs are just looking to back off here a little bit. Try and just wait for the teammates to come around as Curdy's making his way through balcony. But Ivanov hears him. Will take him down. Now it's all Minty who was shut down by Daz. Another round goes the way of Team McQuire. Got a bit messy towards the end there with Minty managed to take down 2 with that 5-7 and dropper, but they were able to take it back and win the round overall.
Yeah, it was decent damage in the end anyway. There was a strange buy-up from Team Acquired. There was so many SMGs into shotgun, and once again they're actually going to go ahead and invest into 2 Mac 10s. They have those 2 UMPs they saved over. Lambs are going to be the only one that actually does purchase up a rifle. And I don't know if I agree with this many SMGs. When you have this many, there's, well, not everyone is going to make their money back because there's not enough kills to go around, and they'll be buying up in the next round also. But the Mac 10 going to be starting it off well. Gravity able to get himself a double. Spots out 1 more player behind them also, and they know the positions of the last 2 players, and they're just going to finish that off quite easily. So fairly clean round coming in. Only 1 Mac 10 will be dropped.
Lambs are actually taking down Gravity there, so that's a bit of economic damage done in the way of that side. But
the team kill, was it?
Yeah, Lambs are in that mid spray, takes down Gravity, but Mac 10 will be dropped and still remaining with 2 UMPs on the T side. But the buy round is coming out of FoX Gaming now. Dimitri on the op. Not a lot of utility to work with on the CT side, so they're going to have to be using this utility quite sparingly towards this B side. And looks like a B hit coming out of the T side here. They're going to be chucking 5 players down, but down B dropper here. Actually B long. A lot of utility being used up, but that Molotov will delay them, and some information should be gathered by the CT side now.
Yeah, and I like that. You see how the amount of SMGs that Acquire had actually caused them to buy head armor on the TV side. Walking straight into B, they're getting completely destroyed by Gordy. Jay gets chime in also, he takes down 1, does a lot of damage onto Lamzer, brings him down to 1. And now there's only two players remaining for the T side, and that's also been just completely shut down. There we go, last man will be spammed for the FoX.
It is.
But yeah, what I was trying to say was, we saw, because of the amount of SMGs that Acquire had in the previous round, we saw that FoX game and they actually had to invest into head armor on multiple players, and that allowed them, that forced them to not have the utility to work with. In the end, it did work out for them. They got the round, but it was a pretty good, bit of a mind game, I guess, coming in from Acquire.
Yeah, and of course, the 2 UMPs managed. I think they managed to get at least 1 kill with the UMP, so they really didn't have much of a big play into that. But Gravity is going to be picking up a Tech 9 and sacrificing that for a lot of utility this time. But Daz is going to be on this op. He has no utility to work with, and a little bit more of a slow round coming out on the side. But there are going to be player 4 T side towards B side here. The bomb is just sitting outside as well. So slow run coming out of the T side, as they did get just shut down as soon as they tried something aggressive early on.
Yeah, they're just hoping for some aggression to come in from FoX. Nothing really going to be coming in yet. There is one player quite aggressive over on A long. He's on his own. We are going to see a tower start making their way up towards him. I believe that's Ivanov. So this is a position here where neither of these players will be able to be traded, and they're going alone. Interesting molly there from Ivanov. I don't think I've seen that before, but it won't actually clear the position. Ivanov,
oh, and that feels spray. Unlucky as Complex just
idea.
peeks out.
He wasn't so sure that there was actually a player there. I don't think he was just kind of spamming it a bit, and that allowed Complex to catch him off.
Yeah, I think because of that Molotov as well, he was a little bit caught off guard, as he wasn't expecting the player to still be there, even though it did fail. He was expecting maybe a player to peek out with it, but kind of smart. He does manage to get shut down, but the T side here are going to be trying to execute towards B. Smoke's going down for Dropper. Gravity going to be throwing a flash as well. That will force the CT off, but will get blinded himself as Jay takes him down, and now it's a 4v3 situation. Minty in a perfect position to shut this one down. Finds two of his own, looking for another. Gets Lancer, takes him down, and Curly chimes in. The CT side will take a round off Team Acquire again. Only Minty getting dropped.
Yeah, and Acquire now. Well, I was going to say they don't have the money to buy up, but they will go ahead and force it. Two players going to be dropped over AKs. A couple of Tech 9s invested in Gravity. He should be investing also. Yeah, there we go, he will be. It's not a terrible buy. The Tech 9's not weapons you can really underestimate by any means. They have some utility to work with also, and it looks like they're going to be playing heavy over towards A. The CTs do have two players here early on. Nade goes in there, does a little bit of damage onto Poxy before he can even spot anyone out. And that's just slowed down this T push completely. They still do look to make their way up A long and get control. Not really going to be anyone here to contest it this time. So that is some easy map control that they're able to take. And nice shot from Dimitri.
Yeah, add into the fact that the Tech 9 comment, but they are starting to cause a lot of havoc here. But Dimitri Flex finds two, and he's going to be looking for another one, but he looks away just at the wrong time, as Minty will shut down Lambs are here, so it is all on Poxy. And get wrecked by Complex as he comes out long. And first pause comes in from Team Acquire. Probably, I don't know if it's a technical or a tactical timeout, but judging by the situation, they've started to lose rounds consecutively. I believe it's probably a tactical timeout.
Yeah, they've been very one-sided rounds as well that they've lost. We see 3 alive, 4 alive, and 5 alive. So increasingly, they're just getting better at these rounds, making them cleaner and cleaner each time and building themselves up economy. Not perfect by any means over on FoX, but they will be up against an eco most likely in this round, so that allows them to build up even more. Also, another thing I must mention is the double up on Cobble. Not something you normally see because it makes those retakes so difficult, but if you're able to just hold the sights down so well and you don't even need to retake, then they're very, very viable. So
yeah, it's quite interesting because FoX Gaming have been playing this double up setup in pretty much every game they've been playing, no matter what map. It's been Curdy and Dimitri picking up the up, and sometimes it would be Jay as well. And after casting the Valiant Online League, it has been semi-successful, but some of the times it doesn't really work out too well, and they just kind of cost themselves rotates, as sometimes one of the players does get caught out on the site, and that's an up drop straight away to the enemy team. So sometimes it is a bit viable, but they play it so often now that it's just, it doesn't really work out for them enough for it to be considered every time.
Yeah, and Acquire just continuing the slow style that they're playing. They're just so split up, just waiting to see if the CTs go aggressive at all. Doesn't look like we're going to see any aggression coming in anytime soon. And Ivanov alone with the bomb here will get faced. He also gets taken down by Complex, and that's the bomb spotted.
Yeah, and Daz is here, but he only has a Glock to work with. But Complex playing smart, isn't actually pushing. Not going to get called out by any mistakes here, as he will just watch the bomb from a more long range position. Don't know if he spotted him out there. He will fall back to a safer position, and he is jiggle peeking this. That should be Daz spot out. Complex takes a peek, drops Daz, and now starting to look pretty hard for the T side to do anything with this round, as the bomb is just dropped right in the center of T control here. But Gravity walking off Dropper gets shut down by Jay, and he will be hunting for more, as he will take down Lamser, and Poxy gets dropped as well. So another clean round coming out of the CT side, not losing too many players, and that will be more money towards the economy.
They actually lost none that time again, so the amount of economy that they've built themselves up now is brilliant. And Acquire, they really are just facing one by one and dying. We are going to see an op picked up this time. It's going to be onto Daz, so it'll be interesting to see where he takes this, if he tries to get perhaps an early pick, because just holding doesn't seem to be working for them. And we're seeing every single player go to straight over with B long here, and it looks like we're going to see some sort of execute coming in, but Molly's slowing this down completely. Going to be halted in their tracks, and they might even just go ahead and go out through the smoke.
They will do so as Gravity finds the early kill here, but Menti finds 2 and a third one on Menti. He's going to be looking for more. This is a 4k and nearly takes the ace, but Daz will shut him down. And again, 3 players surviving on the CT side so far, but Daz going to be trying to do a little bit more economic damage. He does have an AWP to work with, so he doesn't want to try and, you know, go down without a fight here. This would be quite an awful situation for the T side if he was to just go down here. So the economy on the CT side is building up pretty rapidly now. And Jay creeps through the smoke, finds Daz, and he will go down without a fight as Minty picks up 4 kills and Dropper. I mean, it did start to look good for Team Acquire as Gravity did get an early kill off, but Minty just annihilates them on his own, takes down 4. I have seen Minty actually taking down multiple players in previous games as well. He did get an ace in the last game I was watching as well.
Yeah, and Acquire now straight back onto this pistol Kevlar buy. Just a little bit of a quasi buy, looking to perhaps do a bit more damage, even get the bomb down if possible, but so far they're not even having success getting close to the site, let alone getting the bomb down on it. And Acquire once again just playing this slow, waiting to see if FoX get aggressive, but that's not going to be happening at the moment, and actually it will happen, but that's Curry with the op who catches him off guard, and with a Tech 9 you're never going to win the battle at that range.
Yeah, and of course we do see the double up setup still remaining on the CT side. They does start off well as Curdy takes down Lamser, and now it's all 4v5 situation for the T side. One smoke and 1 flashbang to work with. Of course, Daz not purchasing any armor, but Gravity drops down, finds Jay, and this is a little bit more of an opening for the T side. They've managed to take control, but Dimitri, I don't know if he spotted or heard player there, but he will backing off just at the wrong time. Here's T player is allowed up mid if he so wishes, but Dimitri falls back and watches that now. The Molotov forces the T's towards that door of Dropper.
Yeah, and the bomb right now still over in B halls. Looking like it's going to be taken back towards A. It's in the hands of Daz currently. The Tech 9 and Ivanov going to have to try and get some sort of an entry frag here, but the reaction's a little bit slow there. Perhaps paying attention to the map a bit too much, and now it's only Daz with the bomb. His position is also no, and he'll get taken down by the AWP, so he's not really able to do much more. I believe he got a dink, but it's not enough.
I don't quite understand what Team Acquire are doing right now. They did have a lot of dropper control. They've taken danger, and they had somewhat of some control towards A long, and they just kind of sat there and didn't do anything with the control that they gained. And I don't know if it was a missed call or they're just trying to wait out some pushes, but I suppose the dropper players were a little bit trapped from both sides. But they didn't try to do anything to get them out of that situation. They just kind of sat like ducks waiting for it to be shot. Complex starts it off strong, taking Gravity, and Trey comes in from Ivanov though. It's a 4v4 situation, and the A execute looks to be coming in, but Dimitri misses a shot, so that could be crucial. And both ops are towards A now. Dimitri looks a bit flustered as he misses a flash. He will get full blinded, and now the T side moving in. Jay shuts down Lamser. Now it's a 3v3 situation. Things are looking a bit better for the T side now. They are able to get towards the site. Maybe for the first time the bomb plant will go down, but Menti will deny that. Ivanov backs up straight into his weapon. And Foxy in a nice position here. Will find Menti. Gonna be looking for more. That smoke is shielding Dimitri. He peeks from the side of it, finds Daz. Now it's a 1 versus 2. Jay creeping along the wood. Foxy flicks though, finds him, and now it's a 1v1. Dimitri dropped from 34 HP. And the verticality of Foxy jumping up on that house will make the hot shot very hard for Dimitri to hit, and he will clutch out the round.
Yeah, nice clutch there coming in by Foxy at the end, and that gives Acquire a little bit of a lifeline. I is not perfect that they only lived with 1 player, but the plant at least allows them to purchase up for everyone. The op dropped over to Daz, but as we can see, still a perfect buy coming in from FoX Gaming, and they still have money left over in the bank. They just built up such a strong amount of economy. And it looks like we're getting to see another fast B hit.
Yeah, it looks like Acquire are just sticking to their guns, maybe what they've practiced, and maybe it didn't work for them in the first couple of rounds, but they still have confidence in the setup. But a lot of utility being used on the dropper, but Gravity starts it off well, taking down Curdy, and now from this position Minty finds 1. Not as many as he could before, but Dimitri chiming in, finding 2, and Ivanov only finding 1, so Dimitri finds another. It's a 3v1 situation. Daz left on the platform, gets shot down by Jay, and I think it's just a little bit disconnected on the T side. They're not really pushing at the same time. I mean, Gravity is able to get that entry frag 9 out of 10 times, but they're just not expecting Minty to be right there at the corner, and he always manages to find at least 1.
Yeah, it just seems like Acquire are never in position to trade. Even if they take a frag, they'll lose multiple just instantly back to back. And now they're looking to make their way over towards A with this bit of a force buy that they've invested into it. 2 players fully forced, 3 players just spent a little bit of their economy. And they might be able to catch this aggressive C2 player. He's down in danger. He's currently sandwiched between multiple players indeed. Gravity takes him down, gets himself an M4. Should perhaps be dropping that over to one of the players who has Kevlar. That's now Minty on the site, gonna get dinked down also. So there's a little bit of a chance here for Acquire to try and get something done. Daz will finish him off, and this is a 5 versus 3. So Acquire, this might be the best chance we've had them saying to pick up a round in quite a while.
Yeah, and it's all with the pistols, but a little bit of team damage done by Ivanov will take a little bit of damage towards his teammate, but he will fix that issue as he does take down Jay. So through 5 versus 2 situation, it is the pistols that work out for Acquire. Dimitri, nice shot, picks up a second one, and right. Dimitri going to be going for this, but Lamser in a perfect position. Dimitri's expecting this though, but oh, Lamser hits a beautiful headshot, and the Dimitri will drop him. And of all things, Acquire with a few pistols and a dropped M4, they are managed to actually get a bomb plant.
Yeah, and they lived with 3 players as well, so that's a couple of free weapons, and that allows them to save some money investing into this round. Does Ivanov have a weapon? Yeah, he'll be getting dropped now, just a little bit late, I think. Or not. Hang on. There's still loads of money over on the T side. They could have dropped Ivanov a weapon.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting. Maybe they just trust him with the Tech 9 and they want to save some money for the next few rounds. Of course, as you did say earlier, the Tech 9 isn't a gun to be counted out as it can do a lot of damage. Of course, on Dimitri, only on that UMP as well.
Ivanov indeed does actually start off well. He takes down one player over towards A. That was Complex, I believe. Dimitri somehow getting his way up behind them, gets himself a double, retrieves the op also.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a mistake coming out of the T side, both watching the same angle, and it will prove fatal for them, but coming out of this, the Molotov is Curdy, and Gravity will shut him down. So 3v3 versus the CT side here. The T side have made it on their way into the bomb site. Gravity takes down Dimitri, who's trying to hide behind the rock, but Jay and Minty find 2. Lamser playing on the edge of the smoke, finds 1, going for the clutch, and he will do so as Minty is dropped with his Tech 9. And obviously Ivanov being able to take a player with that Tech 9 early on in the round, but Dimitri coming in from behind, both players looking towards the A site, just gets shut down. And but overall they are able to close out another round.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that worked there. Minty looked like he had a bit of a free kill with Lamser's back turned to him, but anyway, now Acquire, they're starting to build themselves up a pretty strong half. The map is probably still considered T-sided, but not as much as it used to be. So if they can pick up these last 2 rounds, they'll be fairly happy with it. Especially considering how it looked early on in Poxy with a nice entry frag onto Minty. And it looks like we're just going to straight up see the B commitment here. Ivanov coming in through drop. He's going to be able to sandwich those 2 players. Takes down both Kurti and Jay. And now Complex and Dimitri, they're basically out this round. Perhaps able to get an exit, maybe pick themselves up an AK at best. But it's impossible at this point to win it.
Yeah, Dimitri in a nice position to catch out at least Ivanov. That will be one weapon, but nades are running in on him now. He's going to be blinded, but no one's pushing just yet, so he won't be able to survive for that bit longer. He's actually creeping forward with this weapon. He's going to try and do a little bit of economic damage using the smoke to his advantage, but Gravity with a beautiful spray takes down Dimitri. And now that's the AK out of the CT side. And Complex,
yeah, and ideally Complex just saves this Kevlar, but
yeah, and Poxy just walks straight in, takes his head off, and Acquire keep 4 alive. It's starting to look better for Team Acquire. They could actually end up winning this half if they win this round. And the economy isn't great on the CT side this time, and they don't have that much utility to work with, especially on Dimitri and Complex. And of course Minty picking up a P90, quite interesting. And of course Curdy also on a UMP. So from looking pretty bad at the start of the round, half should I say, Acquire are actually in a good chance of winning the half here.
Yeah, look how fast FoX threw all the utility they had. They only have 2 smokes, a molly, and a couple of flashes left. They threw everything out. Complex using that Molotov he had, etc. just instantly tore it day long. It did slow down that terrorist push that was coming, but I'm not even sure if he knew it was coming. I think he just threw it down because he heard a footstep or something.
And yeah, anyway, and this does like just... Sorry.
You can go ahead.
It's just opens up the site for Acquire so easily now as their CTs do not have a lot of utility to hold them off, so they just kind of wait out their utility, waste it on all of the CT side. They're able to just walk onto the site now, and Daz picks an easy kill off the Minty. Ivanov will find 1 kill with a piece of utility, and Gravity chimes in. Now it's a 3 versus 2. Dimitri and Curdy gonna have to be retaking this site. No utility on Dimitri, only an op to work with, and Curdy obviously on a UMP. Not the strongest situations, but Dimitri moves up, finds 1, gonna be looking for the second. Doesn't manage to get him in a bit of an awkward situation coming out here as Daz will shut down Dimitri. Gravity finds Curdy, and Team Acquire take the half.
Yeah, and Acquire really, literally all they done different was that they were in positions to trade frag. That was all they done different. They just grouped up his sites together and they actually capitalized on the map control that was being given up to them. Because FoX, well, maybe they'd go aggressive a bit on A long, but they'd fall off usually at the first sight of any site of presence. So they were just giving it up. They didn't even need to use utility to take it. And eventually Acquire realized that, and it went really well for them once they did.
Yeah, it could be an extremely different scoreline if Acquire started off using their minds and actually going for this trade setup, but they eventually did start to wake up towards the end of the half, and they will go into this on 8-7. FoX Gaming need to pick up this pistol round to get this advantage back in their way, and they will be trying to do so as Dimitri has picked up smoking two flashes. Jay does the same. Should be a B execute coming in here, but 4 CTs are that way side of the map.
Yeah, interesting that Foxy invested into a Deagle instead of picking up a kit. So Acquire are going to be fully relying on just hitting their shots here, and see a bit of a BX2 coming in, but I believe it's just allowed them to funnel themselves in through connector. But we do see Gravity in the next position along with one more teammate to try and hold that. That was Foxy though, the Deagle not the best in that position. He falls. One frag will come in for Gravity, but in the process they're going to lose a lot of their teammates, and down to a 3 versus 2 now in favour of FoX. Nice shot coming in there. Ivanov falls, and it's all onto Daz now.
Yeah, this is extremely intelligent out of the T side here. They do bait over a lot of players towards the B side. They know this is going to happen, and then use their smokes, and that will block off the vision from the CT side, and they were able just to funnel through connector and go towards A, and they end up actually facing 2 opponents instead of 4. Quite a nice idea coming out of the FoX side.
Yeah, it was a strat that I believe was used by C9 recently. The team did use it a couple years back in one of the older iteration of the maps, but I can't quite remember who. Now Acquire, they're going to go ahead and force buy into this. FoX, they even it out, they take this 8-8 score line, and probably does favour the T side on this map. But now looking to try and capitalise on this, you can never underestimate these pistols. They can do a lot of damage, and it looks like FoX just want to try and stick together and make their way towards A, try and keep this long range advantage.
They are doing so without any contesting, and the CTs will start to realise this now as they are rotating in from the B side. Ivanov starts it off well, taking Dimitri, finds Jay as well. Gravity coming in, finding 2 quick kills with this 5-7, and starting to fall apart for the T side now. All on Curdy with merely a UMP to work with against 4 players. It looks really hard for him to do at this point. It's pretty much virtually impossible, and Ivanov sitting in the smoke, going to be going for his 3rd kill. But Curdy showing that he does have an idea that he's here. I'm not going to be shooting towards him just yet, but well, just walk past him, and Ivanov catches him out. He will pick up 3 kills into that round.
Yep, the $500 pistol. That's how ridiculous they are.
Yeah.
And Acquire, they pick it up so clean as well. They're able to get weapons for free. They don't even have to invest anything, I don't think. All 5 of them are able to pick up a free weapon, I believe.
I don't know if it was a great shout by FoX just to put all 5 players towards mid. You don't really have any information at that point as soon as you go there at the start of the round, so you don't know if you're walking straight into a stack. And if you are, you'll just get annihilated, but the rotate comes in pretty quickly from the CT side, and they are able to just shut them down anyway. But I think it would have been better to maybe spread out, try and get a little bit more information and feel out their opponents.
Yeah, and right now they're just going to be playing a bit passive back towards the back of B long and in the white halls. I believe we might see a bit of a B split attempting to come in here through the drop and long position. And looks like we have a little bit of a problem. Acquire want to restart the round for some reason. I'm not sure if this server has match medic, that's the problem.
Looks like Poxy is gone. He's
timed out apparently, I got a message.
Yeah. He's not moving, he is just sitting here with the UMP looking at the ground, so bit of a problem coming in here, but should be fixed soon as it looks like they do have match medic. But overall, yeah, FoX with some nice setups. Of course, they are the more practiced team probably on this map, as we didn't really see much strat-wise coming out of Acquire. We didn't see any executes or anything that have shown this on practice. They just mainly relied on their skill to win them rounds, and they did so win the half. But FoX Gaming, obviously, with Jay being a more tactical in-game leader, they're going to have a little bit more to work with in terms of strategy. And we could see a little bit more of an interesting T-side coming out of FoX Gaming. Even the pistol round was quite innovative, but it looks like they have learned their strats off some of the other pro teams, so it's going to be quite interesting. going to be paused here, and there is 2 UMPs still on the T side. Not really much to talk about as of yet, but Poxy should be back with us momentarily. The scoreline is 9-9. It's a really tight game. Of course, we always see, obviously these teams are quite evenly matched in terms of skill. Obviously Acquire do have that sort of flashy style on Gravity, who likes the entry frag a lot, and he is the entry fragger of the team, I believe, as well. Dal's obviously a pretty good opera, as we did see a pretty insane 4K coming out with him from him when he was playing against your team, Dean and Tropia on Inferno.
Yeah, I'm back now. Sorry, I was AFK. I heard what you said towards the end. Who are we talking
about? We're talking about the skill on Acquire of Gravity, entry fragging, and Dal's pretty good with the op. It is Ivanov, isn't the IGL of Team Acquire?
I believe so.
Yeah, I was also talking about how FoX Gaming is a little bit more fine-tuned in the way of strategies on the T side. Obviously having Jay, who's a more tactical in-game leader, and mainly Acquire were using their skill to try and win rounds on the T side, and it's a little bit more interesting coming out of FoX Gaming, as they do have a little bit more of innovative strategies they like to use. Obviously, Complex is the new addition to the FoX Gaming side. He has been fitting in quite well. Of course, Sketchy was dropped from the team a couple of days ago, or I believe it was a week now. But Complex is fitting into the team pretty well now, as they did go over a few strategies, and after casting a few of their games recently, he has just kind of slotted in perfectly. I mean, of course, on a like mid-level team, it's not going to be that difficult to fit in, as they are just kind of not playing at a certain play style that maybe was like a top level playstyle, so pretty easy for a new player to fit into these types of teams, but he has performed well in his role.
Yeah, and hopefully we don't have too much of a problem here. I don't know if they're going to be able to match Medic it back, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Did you see FoX? They aren't responding at all to what Acquire is saying.
They're probably just kind of fumbling, not having an idea, like panicking at this point, knowing that they can't revert the round. They're probably contacting their server admin. I believe they have a server admin that runs their servers for them. So he might be able to do something, as he did fix the GeoTV demo glitch, so it's quite adept. Apologies for the delay. Poxy has returned, but I think the only problem now will be trying to revert the round back now. So who knows how long this could take. Hopefully not too long. And actually, it's going to be reverted right now, as it's back to 9-8. Acquire with the lead. The match will start to go ahead again. Three UMPs on the CT side, and of course we do see the T side force buying this time. One flash to work with on J. And if I'm not mistaken, Dimitri should be ecoing to save for this AWP. This will give some this pause will give time to both sides to kind of talk over some of the decision making, and especially FoX Gaming, who do like to play this map very tactically, so this could play in their favour, having a pause for so long here.
Yeah, and we see they're changing it up this time, looking to go a bit faster over towards A. Ivanov drops that molly down, but it's not going to be able to hold him off for long enough. Takes one, but he does get traded, and that's not really a success in this situation. It gives an AK over to J. Actually, FoX are just going to completely just cancel this and run straight back to B. And we see all the CTs have already rotated over towards A.
Really good shout by FoX Gaming here. They've just completely juked the CTs, and they will start to realise this now as they're coming back. Information is gathered, but they took their time getting towards B, and the CTs are here managing to do it. So Jay will take down Daz, and it's a 2v2 situation now. Lambs are going to be having that Galil, won't be able to do much as he gets his head ripped off him by Midday, and of course it is now on Gravity against 2. He's creeping through the door. He's made it so far without being detected. I don't think Jay spotted him out either. Minty going to be creeping from the corner, gets shot down. The bomb plant has been secured though. Gravity dropped to 12 HP. Dinks up Jay, and this nade could be the end of Jay. And it will do so. Gravity picking up a 1v2 clutch. Nice call by FoX Gaming originally, but I think they just took their time getting towards being it. The CTs were able to rotate pretty quickly.
Yeah, and Gravity just completely saving that round there. It was a nice call by FoX to run back. Foxy, he was able to get in position quite fast though and call over to his teammates once he heard the footsteps. And I'd say in the end though, FoX Gaming, they'll be fairly happy with that round. They get 4 kills of it, they get a plan, but they will have to just go ahead and go for an eco into this round. They potentially could have bought and tried to reset the economy of Acquire, but it's not really all that weak considering they want to force buy their own.
Yeah. When you see Daz is going to be staying on that UMP, knows that they're probably against an eco or a force buy again. And this extra bit of money that he can earn from this UMP will be able to give him some utility to work with. The AWP will probably be purchasing in the next round. And we do see the T side are making their way towards A this time. 4 players coming out long pretty quickly here. And they will make it onto the site, but perfect position as Ivanov. He takes down 1. Gets traded though instantly by Complex as Minty drops as well from Daz. The bomb plant isn't secured as Gravity just walks on, takes him down. Daz finds Curdy and also finds Jay as well. So T side looked good for them, but ultimately got shut down as they tried to enter the site.
Yeah, Complex probably should have just stuck that plant and took the death afterwards. It's unlikely they were ever going to win that round, and that extra money would have been pretty useful. It would have allowed Dimitri to get some utility along with the op and probably a pistol. So
yeah, that's true. I believe the bomb plant is probably the most important thing in that round. All the extra cash is needed going into this round as they do have limited utility, especially on Dimitri. The rest of the team do have a lot of utility to work with, but Gravity leading the way for the CT side. He'll be on 21 frags. Lamser having a bit of a quiet game, only sitting on 5 frags, and of course Curdy having a bit of a quiet game as well on 6 and 15. And it has been quite an impressive game by Gravity. Going to be clutching out a 1v2, securing that round that was nearly lost by them.
Yeah, and FoX just playing this fairly similar to how we saw Acquire on their T side. Just going to be leaving Dimitri over towards A, trying to hold for any aggression. Once again though, Acquire, they're just going to be playing a fairly passive, not really pushing anything, just leaving that one player solo on A, just trying to play it for info. And we see the rest of them just grouping up in B halls. No real plan quite yet, and I think they're actually going to go ahead and make their way over towards drop with a couple of players, look to try and get control of this if possible. It's currently only Poxy that's attempting to hold it over in the E-box room.
Yeah, and I'm quite a fan of the rotates from the CT side, but it's starting to unfold here. The attack only has 40 seconds left, and the nades will start to be used as Dimitri going to be trying to get a kill towards. Chicken Coop won't do so as Daz is a winner of that alt battle. Now it's a 5 versus 4. The T side don't have the advantage here. Jay gets shut down by Poxy in this. Starting to look good for the CT side. Poxy, though, getting caught inside the smoke, but that smoke will ultimately allow him to survive. Lamser shuts down Minty. And this flank from Ivanov is huge. Going to be dropping 1. Doesn't manage to find the second one, but Complex drops to 4 HP. Ultimately gets shut down by Daz. And of course, we do see FoX Gaming just kind of getting caught out on platform. Couldn't really get off it as the rotates had come in, and we're just facing too strong of a hold by the CT side.
Yeah, and once again, straight back onto the pistols for FoX. It's just been something we've seen just alternating back and forth in this half, and no success quite yet. They haven't had other than that pistol that they did pick up, and they instantly reset afterwards. So just going to be making their way over towards drop. It looks like trying to make their way down fast, use these tech lines at close range, where they strive the most. And they might be able to perhaps catch a player off guard, but no, the Molotov doing so much damage. Gravity and Lamser timing in with 1 each. Gravity picks up a second. Jay did take down 1, but only Curty will chime in to help him, and now it's only Complex that remains 1 versus 3. He has the bomb in hand, and now his position is known. I was going to say he might have a bit of a surprise factor, but no longer.
He will be able to get this bomb plant though.
Yeah.
He's going to be trying to get this bomb plant. That's the most important thing, but he doesn't know it's clear as of yet, but hopefully he just stakes it this time instead of faking, but he will do so. On the bomb plant, needs a little bit of money going in the way of the T side, and if he can get in a good position, he could find 1 before he goes down. There's a bit of a late of reaction coming out of Complex there. And he won't be able to do much else. But he does get the bomb plant. That will look a little bit better for the T side's economy here.
Yeah, getting that bomb down, I'd say, is a bit of a success in that round, along with those 2 kills. Let's have a look at the economy for Acquire. Actually pretty strong. They won't really have any problem buying up for at least probably 3 rounds. We see, well, actually no, maybe 2. We do see a couple of reinvestments coming in, and that takes a little bit off the top of their bank. And now FoX, they will be able to purchase up, and they're actually going to go for a double up on the T side. This is something not very conventional.
They've been sticking with this double up setup on both CT sides and T sides, and as I said, it doesn't work out for them all that much. So I don't think it's worth it most of the time, but they are sticking to it. Maybe if they start to watch back some of the VODs and realize it doesn't work out for them, maybe they will start to switch it up. But if teams do research each other, it's going to be something to watch out for.
Yeah, Dimitri, they're just going to run his way straight up long. Confident no one was there. There is one player in danger, though. One more was on long who fell off it. Nice trade coming in from Minty, and this will actually favour the T side. It's one of the ops that fall, and that's probably the most ideal weapon to fall. Curty does still have one. The only problem with the op is once you actually want to go into the sites, it makes it a bit more difficult. So now 4 versus 4, map control taken by FoX Gaming. They have full control of both mid and long. And it looks like that player was over towards B. He's just going to go ahead and lurk towards drop. He's making some noise, and the bomb's still towards A. But the CTs, they don't know this yet. They do still only leave one trying to defend this site. He should be able to call over that he's at least hearing some noise coming in now as the door is smoked off. The hut is mollied. And indeed, one player will be here to try and support him. That's Gravity playing underneath Balcony in a pretty good position to try and hold this down. He will get one. It's actually Daz who gets it. Gravity doesn't get one. It's Complex with a double. And now the A side under the control of the T side.
Yeah, and it was quite interesting actually watching Dimitri go for the opening pick and just gets shut down. I mean, probably would have been a little bit more intelligent to send Minty off for that first encounter, but he is able to trade. Poxy finds Complex though, and Minty finds Lamser, so it's a 2 versus 1. Poxy on the retake. We have seen him win a clutch so far, and he wins another one as he takes 2 heads off the CT side. Curdy and Minty will be dropped, and the defuse comes in. Poxy picking up a 3k into that round, Steven acquires. So FoX Gaming lose a pretty detrimental round. Really needed this one to get back into this game, and they are able to buy again though, due to the maximum loss bonus. But a bit of a sore wound for FoX Gaming to lose that round.
And since Acquire took over late into that first half, they've just had full control of the game.
Yeah, it must be just a boost in confidence as maybe their skill started to get going and warm up. They've just started to warm up now, but an interesting play coming out of FoX Gaming here. They're going to be smoking off these newly widened stairs. But Daz starts it off well, taking Dimitri, and that's the op out of this T side. Ivanov with a perfect flank. And he finds one so far, but a lot of damage done. He finds Minty as he looks away towards the A side. Gravity finds Jay. A bit of spray control coming in here as he does hit Complex down to 22, and now it's a 5 versus 1. And Nade comes in, doesn't do any damage. And it's just taking the amount of time that Complex has left. Poxy going to be getting a bit closer. They're going to be using the Molotov. Don't want to lose any weapons or any players here. And Molotov will push him out of his position. Poxy shuts him down. And Acquire with a nice clean round, keeping all 5 alive. And it started to fall apart for the T side now. They don't have much utility or weaponry to work with. Their economy's kind of screwed now. And we do see on the CT side, they're just booming with economy.
Yeah, very weak play coming into this round. They haven't been finding success with the full buys, so they're looking so hopeful when they aren't even able to afford more than just that 1 AK and a Galil. Other than that, working with just SMGs. Looking to try and make their way over towards B. It looks like a little bit of an execute. Perhaps similar to what we saw previously coming in early in the half. Didn't work out that time, but perhaps this time they can make it work. Molotov's going in from Acquire. Just going to be able to slow it down for a while. And Liv, they've probably got a good bit of info at this point now as they see the smokes coming over the wall.
It's a good idea, but by the point that how quickly Acquire rotate, it's not really working out for them. But Lamser finds 2, and it's starting to look very bad for the T side as they will get Dimitri will get dropped as well. But Curdy keeping his team in it, finds 2 with the UMP, and now it's all on Gravity. We have seen a clutch of 1v2 so far in the game, but not this time as Jay will find him. And FoX Gaming win a must needed round if they want to keep any chance of getting back into this, but the buy from Team Acquire here is going to be extremely strong as they do have a lot of economy to work with.
Yeah, and only living with 2 people means that FoX isn't really going to have a perfect buy. They have those 2 UMPs onto Minty and Curty. 3 AKs though onto Dimitri, J and Complex, so it's definitely an upgraded buy to the one we saw in the previous round. It'll be interesting to see what they go ahead and do this time, and it does look like they're going to go back to this slow default, just splitting it up, waiting for any aggression to come in. One player over towards A long, I believe that's Curty on his own. The rest of the players just currently holding outside of B.
We see that Curty is just given a bit more respect this time. The aggressive pushes from FoX on the long haven't really worked out at all, so they're just going to be trying to hold that position, make sure that no flank can come in. but not going to be really contesting it, as two players are playing extremely close to A long from the CT side, but an extremely slow round coming out of FoX here. Very different, but Pretty makes the launch onto the A site, and Daz will take him. And now it's a 4 versus 5. A flank is available now if the CTs wish. And I'm going to be seeing Daz actually rotating back to a more safe position towards B, and he's actually starting to rotate over, and that's where the bomb is, so FoX could be walking onto a stack here.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go ahead and go for this B execute once again, split it through long and drop. And we see a complete stack coming in, as you mentioned. There's a player also coming in the flank, so this is going to be almost impossible for FoX. Even if they're able to get a couple entries, they need to be aware of this flank that's currently coming in to stab them in the back. Nice entry comes in from Minty. He gets a second with the UMP, and that's a weapon that was recently nerfed. Obviously not enough. Minty picks a double, and that flank finally coming into play. He'll take down one is Ivanov, and Jay with the spray transfer gets himself a double. Dimitri gets the last player, and there's a second round in a row for FoX Gaming. They get themselves a 10th, and we might actually even have to see Acquire go for a little bit of an eco here.
Yeah, apologies for the viewers watching the stream. My game tabbed out randomly, so I missed a few frags, but FoX Gaming actually pick up another round, and my game tabbed out again. What is going on? But yeah, FoX Gaming pick up another round. It's quite detrimental at this point that they do start to pick up rounds. It's a bit late for them to start waking up, but an aggressive A long hit coming out here. Dimitri with the op this time, going to be challenging towards A long, but Ivanov playing an off angle position with this P250. Hasn't peaked yet, but that Molotov actually does start to spread him, and he will walk out. Dimitri finds the early kill. Man advantage goes in the way of the T side, and CTs are starting to rotate in from B side now. These Molotovs will start to delay any rotates from Hut. But Daz can be playing the smoke. Should be able to hear complex footsteps moving close, but Lambs are in a nice position to at least catch out one. Will find two though, that's better. And Minty finds one of his own. It's a 3v3 situation. Lamser picks up an AK. He has a set of armor to work with, but only 5 HP. Minty going to be waiting for an overzealous push from Lamser. Will do so, and he's going to be looking for more as he finds Gravity, and now it's all on Poxy with this 5-7. Going to be virtually impossible as Dimitri does shut him down.
Yeah, not terrible damage considering only a couple of pistols invested by Acquire, and now they will be buying up. But FoX, they're only 4 rounds. It's only 4 rounds that they need to get rather, and I believe only 2 of those will be gun rounds, so you can't really count them out at this point. Acquire going to be going ahead and going for a double up setup here. Daz and Gravity going to be the players picking them up. I don't think we've seen Gravity on one yet in this game.
I think Gravity's more of an all-round player, so he can play every role. We did see him play Lurk, I believe. It was on Daddy Fire, and he plays entry for this team. He's played AWP before, so he's an all-round player. So definitely not to count Gravity out with the AWP here, but looks like a B execute coming in early from the T side. Straight executes haven't really worked out, but FoX Gaming managed to get on the site now. A boost gonna be pretty fatal for the CT side, as that's 2 players cut out straight away. Perfect spray down by Jade, dropping them like a Jenga. As Minty's gonna be searching for Poxy, will do so. Now it's a 2 versus 5. Daz and Ivanov should probably just back off to save these weapons.
Yeah, going straight into that execute there for FoX Gaming actually worked out well. Usually that'd probably be a little bit of a problem because you don't really force the CTs to use any utility, but I guess they knew that the buy for Acquire wasn't really going to be perfect, so they didn't really have the mollies to work with. They were attempting to do a little bit of a boost, try and use a bit of a gimmick to get an early frag perhaps if they did peek out, but they just didn't notice. That flash that came in from Jay was nice. It allows him to get up close and gets himself a double entry frag.
Yeah, it was a bit of a confusion as well from FoX's. Jay was kind of just staring awkwardly into his teammate, but manages to walk around the side of the smoke, find 2 and topple Gravity and Lamser's attempted boost, as they will both fall in seconds. And now the economy has just fallen for Team Acquire, as they will be dropped to forced by a few pistols. Actually, they're going to be forced by UMPs and M4s, so Poxy picking up a Mike 7 for the dropper position. This can actually be utilized pretty well.
Yeah, interesting that they actually do force in here, but anyway, it's not a bad buy by any means. It's actually pretty decent. That Mag 7, as you mentioned, very viable over towards the drop room. He's not going to be actually playing it there, is he? Where is he? Oh, he is there, so I was wrong, yeah. And Lambs are playing towards platform with the UMP, so that's also a pretty strong weapon. But anyway, it looks like it's going to be an 8 hit coming in the T side if they can full control the mid and long, and only 1 player to try and hold this. He will have called it already, so there is rotates coming in to try and help him, but this smoke's going to be cutting off any sort of Any sort of support that he may get. Down on the van is Gravity. He gets taken down by Dimitri, who picks himself up a second with the up, and now Daz with the up from balcony. He has to try and get something done on his own. Will he be able to do what we've seen Dimitri do? He does actually start it off well. He takes down Complex. That's the bomb dropped out in the open now also. Foxy though, the problem is with his Mag 7, it's not a great weapon at range by any means, so trying to get back into this site can be a bit of a problem, and Jay takes down Daz. That's one of the long range weapons gone. Foxy able to retrieve it though. And now we should at least see the bomb going down for the T side, and they do have an advantage in this after plant.
Yeah, as you say, that Mag 7 is dropped now as Poxy picks up an AWP, and let's see if we can do at least a little bit of economic damage. Lamser manages to get taken down by Curdy, but not before he drops into 2 HP. Poxy with a nice flick takes down Jay. He's going to be looking for a little bit more economic damage, but Curdy on 2 HP just going to be trying to bait him out, but the USP will finish him off. It's a 1v1 now. Still time to work with, so this could be doable. Dimitri peeks though, finds Poxy, and that'll be a round going the way of FoX Gaming, starting to inch by inch crawl back into this game.
Yeah, and Acquire, they probably should just be eco in this one. They do have full money bonus, so they can invest into Pistol, Kevlar, UMP onto Gravity. Give themselves perhaps a chance to pick up the round, or at least keep the economy low, but at this point it doesn't really matter. And now FoX straight back into this game. They only need to pick up these 2 rounds, and only one of them is going to be a full gun round. So it'll be interesting to see what FoX go ahead and do, and it looks like they're just going to go ahead and try and change the pace a bit, go straight into B. Nice start by Jay. He's been doing a great job entry frag and gets the headshot. Minty chimes in, takes down Gravity, and this is the B side clear. We saw a little bit of an A stack coming in, and players now trying to rotate into a connector. If they've been cut off from the site, and Jay with his UMP in a nice position to try and deny anyone coming into drop room, he doesn't think he takes down Daz. And this is an easy enough round now coming in by FoX.
Yeah, of course, we do see FoX easily just take the site, keeping 5 players alive. Ivanov and Lams are the only players left alive when he got a 5-7 and a CZ to work with. The extra frags are probably the best thing you can do here. Jay will be shut down by Lamser as he's trying to enter the hut. Minty trying to trade will do so as he takes down Lamser, and now it's all on Ivanov trying to save this 5-7. He's in a nice position though, as we do see Dimitri starting to fall. Oh, he's actually getting increasingly closer here. If Ivanov could shut down Dimitri, but Dimitri shuts Ivanov down, and that's a set of armor gone. Team Acquire don't manage to keep any players alive.
Yeah, not to pick up the deal at this point anyway, as they can't fully buy into this last round and a half. Foxy actually going to pick up an AUG, so...
Don't know if that was a miss. Oh, no,
he throws it over to Gravity.
Yeah, after playing a few pugs at Gravity, Gravity actually likes playing the AUG, so maybe this could be utilized towards B platform here. And there is going to be a lot of T's here, but Dimitri with this op should be able to shut that down, surely.
Yeah, and once again, FoX Gaming, they love just going straight into these executes. They don't even force the CTS to use any utility. There's a little bit more utility for the CTS to use this time, but no Molotov still. Jay trying to go out with that flash. It worked last time, didn't this time. Lamser's able to deny it rather. And Daz in a strong position with the up. He's going to spot out a couple players on long. He doesn't connect it the first time. He will on the second chance. And the bomb now that's been dropped out into the open also. This is going to force the team to try and come out onto this site, and it's going well actually. Complex able to take one. His teammate also chimed in, and continuous trade frags coming in, but it's going to be Acquired that do come out on top, and now it's Curty. 1 versus 2, the Norwegian player going to have to clutch it out to try and save his team in this game. Gets the first headshot through the corner of the wall. That's Ivanov, who falls all onto Poxy now. He does not position a terrorist, and he's going to actually be able to win it out. So Acquired, there you have it. They win the game 16-40, and it was looking shaky towards the end, but a win is a win.
Yeah, of course, Team Acquire obviously not starting it out well, able to get control of the half, and then from then on they just start to dominate. And a little bit of a bad patch as FoX Gaming started to come back, but ultimately Team Acquire are able to close out the game. And I hope you enjoy the stream. That I don't know when the next game is. It's like next week, I think the next game is. But yeah. Goodbye.